This is a review of a Boundary Waters trip. Uh, Entry point was number 50 at Cross Bay Lake. Before you get to the official entrance of the Boundary Waters, you have to put in on um, the Cross River, portage 68 rods, um, another little jaunt here, 30 rods, and then you cross Ham Lake. After that 24 rod portage, you officially enter the Boundary Waters. In this trip, we followed the path, as you can see here on the map, across um, across Cross Bay Lake and then into Rib Lake. From Rib Lake, we continued south through the lower George Lake, and our ultimate destination was Long Island Lake. Once on Long Island Lake, we did do this portage hoping to secure one of these sites. Unfortunately for us, it was um, busy and also a little buggy. As we were paddling down here, it was raining, and we finally came to a campsite that we really enjoyed right here. And as I show you some pictures from the photo book that I put together, much of our action took place here on Long Island Lake. This campsite was also really desirable, as was this. It was busy, and throughout our trip, we did manage to get a little bit further south here to do some fishing. I'll jump back to some of these maps, but our put-in date was Thursday, August 18th, 2022, and we exited on Monday, August 22nd. So this is our group: um, myself, my son, my cousin, and his daughter. Here's an overview of the um, map that I just showed you. So some of these pictures show you right as we're putting in here on Cross Bay Lake, um, getting into um, across Ham Lake and getting into Rib Lake. So take you through some of these photos. On one of the early portages, as I mentioned, it was a rainy day the day before, and so the mushrooms were popping. Here we came into the official Boundary Waters on that portage, and so there's a picture of us by that sign. My son is 13. My cousin's daughter was 16, and there were some raspberries at that time of the year, which was really nice. Um, Again, beautiful paddle, beautiful time of the year to go here. As you can see, I had my son sucking his gut here because we were crossing the portage and entering Rib Lake, heading south. So pretty narrow right in here, and you can see as you paddle through. Um, in right at the entry of Long Island Lake, we crossed this portage, and this took us, the total time was 4 hours from our home base. No, I'm sorry, 6 hours from our home base to choosing this, but we were not really going that fast. An added adventure right here. One of our group members, I won't say who, forgot their bag, and so late at night, we were getting ready to enjoy our fresh pork steaks from Ken's Meat Market in Monona, Wisconsin, and had to postpone that until we paddled all the way across from our camp, all the way back across this area of Long Island Lake, hit the portage, grab the bag, hop back in our canoes. Sun is setting. We were paddling very hard. Thankfully, it was an empty canoe, and got back here. In the meantime, we had set up our Nemo bug out tent for the kids to enjoy. And the next morning was relaxation to the max because we simply were burnt out. By mid afternoon, we wanted to go fishing. Of course, as soon as we started going fishing, just right in this area of Long Island Lake, right in here. We were getting some early action, but then the rains came and hit us pretty hard, which was okay. It didn't last too long. Came back and had some bratwurst, got those cooked, pushed them to the side, fried up a little sauerkraut to dry it out a bit, had our beans, and ate a delicious meal. This is the sunset from our campsite right here. There was a little bit of a point and watched the sunset. The next morning, I was able to get up early, watch the sunrise to my back. And as I did that, right along this edge, there was a number of beavers just on the edge of this island right across from our campsite that were doing their work, getting prepared for the day. And then I followed suit and went out and collected some dead trees, and we split that, left a good pile for the next people as well. So didn't go through all that lumber. And then we hit the fishing. This part of the lake we were fishing, we headed right down, kind of hugging the shore a little bit. Had some action right off of here, and then that day we were planning to go south down into I forget the name of that lake, maybe Frost Lake right there. But my son and I did a little side adventure, came up and around here, not much luck. And then he ended up getting a decent northern, which I'll show you here. But there's decent action at this time of the year. Here's a beautiful picture um, right before you head into that area. This campsite was really nice. We'd like to stay there at some point in the future, and that these photos show that campsite here. So nice rock ledge, good view watching the sunset. The latrine had a cover on it, which sure would be nice. And here are some pictures. We went back and went swimming there. Fishing right in that area was also decent, and again, be a great place to watch the sunset. Of course, pictures never do you justice, but the sky was clear, so we enjoyed looking at the stars and everything. Yeah, so just overall, a really nice and enjoyable trip. Definitely wouldn't mind getting back into it. So my son had his largest fish ever. We don't do a ton of fishing, but that was caught right in this narrow um, river. I guess Long Island River is technically where he caught that one. So a good trip overall. Entry point 50. Definitely would consider going back, and I'm going to continue to do um, some of these video reviews. I make a photo book of every trip that I've gone on, so I'll continue to share some pictures. This was heading out on the last portage there, and the last portage selfie page. So great trip. Definitely somewhere I wouldn't mind getting back to.